You don't get to pick the one you get. Just gotta love the one you got.
I always knew this day would come.
I got it.
I don't think you got it.
I held him off for years.
Charlie! Get up here!
He's a relentless son of a bitch. Won't stop till he finishes the job. Death is coming for our family.
I said, oh, 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 oh,
Grandma, what's happening to us? Years ago, I had a premonition that started it all. I saw what death was about to do.
Hello, my name is Michael Morley, and I am here to review Final Destination Bloodlines, directed by Adam Stein and Zach Lipovsky, starring Caitlin Santa Hulna, Tio Briones, Richard Harmon, Gabrielle Rose, Breck Bassana, and Tony Todd. In the year 1968, we see a character named Iris and her fiance go to a place called the Skyview Tower. They go there, he's about to propose to her, but what ends up happening is a bunch of events that lead to people's deaths. Everything you can imagine in this tower is so freaking dangerous. Not to mention that they completed this 5 months ahead of schedule. There's literally an elevator that goes up and it goes into like this circle tower that's on top. So if you are up there, it's not like you could just get out quickly if it was to collapse or break or fall down. You are shit out of luck. So everything is, you're thinking of every situation. There's someone cooking with a frying pan, there's fire. Fire could break the windows, chandeliers that could fall on the glass. Ground, you could actually see through the ground. Ground is glass, so you can see right through it. And my God, this is something I wouldn't even want to go to because it looks so dangerous. And that's kind of the whole point. She has a premonition that people are going to die. She is one of the few people that survives. What ends up happening is Death's plan is they all get killed off one by one. However, what changes is that her granddaughter is seeing these visions in the year 2025. She is seeing it, and it's almost like her surviving and her having these offspring, her getting married to her fiance and having kids, and then her kids ends up having kids. She ends up having grandchildren. These are a family bloodline that were never meant to happen. So this granddaughter is almost like she's seeing the same premonition that her grandmother had seen at that Skyview Tower in 1968. So what ends up happening is that she gets in touch with her grandmother, but her whole family are like, look, she's a nutcase, you want to stay away from her. But her curiosity leads to her seeing her grandmother. She ends up getting talked about, like being told about Death's plan. What ends up happening is that her grandmother ends up dying, and then it starts to go for everyone else, one by one, in the order of Death's plan. And I gotta say, this is an incredible follow-up. This is such a great sequel. I was really surprised. I thought Final Destination 5 was such a good follow-up, and this does not disappoint. The twists, they do new original things with this film. They actually try to come up with a new element with Death's plan, with a character that survived and ends up having a whole family tree that were never meant to exist. That is interesting. That is something that has never happened in this franchise. Each actor is such a... you actually care about these characters. Usually, despite this one really delves into the characters, especially the brother and sister in this movie. They are... you believe in their relationship, you believe in their, you know, they have a really good chemistry, very real, and you just relate to these characters. Now, the other side of the family, the cousins, are a little bit aloof. They don't believe in what she's saying. Yes, I get it from their point of view. It's ridiculous to believe in this story, but what ends up happening is that, yes, things start to happen, people are dying one by one, and they start to believe. They start doing things to try and cheat death. And that's what makes it so interesting. Each death scene is incredible. I was on the edge of my seat watching these deaths and going, wow, They really come up with really clever ways to kill these characters. You always don't know where they're going to go. They'll do something that you think, oh, that's how they're going to die, but they end up dying a completely different way. So they sort of do a false death, but it ends up being something else. It's like there's a false setup, and then they do something else, and you're like, oh, you're kind of on your mind, like, that thing, no, that's what they're going to do to kill that person. So you do literally have a mindset of, like, what is Death's plan here when it comes to killing off this character? And I loved that they used Tony Todd's character, William Bloodworth, to come back, and now we have an answer for why he's so aware of Death's plan, and why he knows so much throughout the movies he's appeared in, and how he has all this advice, and how he knows so much. There is an explanation for that in this film, which makes his character go full circle. And the way it ended with his character, rest in peace Tony Todd, was such an honourable way for him to go. And he says something very clever and very just, I won't spoil it, but he has such a great scene in this movie. His moment is heartfelt. I could see, as we know, he had cancer while he was shooting this movie. This is like his last project he ever did. I could see it on screen. I knew that he was literally a dead man walking in this film. And it's almost as if he knew, people who worked on the film knew, and his scene in this movie is just powerful. I will say the way it ended, it's like any other ending to most of these Final Destination movies. You feel an attachment to these characters, but it never ends well for any of them. If you've seen the other Final Destinations, you know what I mean. It ends exactly how a Final Destination movie should end. And I think any fan who loves that will love this movie. But I always have a mindset that they're going to do something different here. And as much as I really did like this sequel, I was hoping that they were going to do something different, but that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it. I did love how this ended, and I did like how they tried to do something different and original, and they did. Brings a whole new spin to what they could do with Final Destination, but I was almost hoping for something without spoiling it. 8.5 out of 10.
I saved a lot of lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved. But Death doesn't like it when you mess with his plans.
This book, it will show you everything you need to know to keep our family safe.
It all started with Grandma. Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist. What?
Only by embracing death will it pass you by.
Maybe Death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
Good luck.